another incredibly revealing moment related to this. So, of course, we've been trying to cover, and the folks at the Daily Poster, The Intercept, American Prospect have been trying to cover the way that money is driving this entire conversation. One of the worst actors in all of this has been former Senator Heidi Heitkamp. She was North Dakota, right?
Yeah.
And she's now being paid by a bunch of lobbyists to make sure that rich people don't pay more taxes. Specifically, and I did a whole monologue on it sounds complicated, but it's really not, the step-up basis that allows rich people to essentially avoid ever paying taxes on their capital gains. They avoid it while they're alive. They pass it on to their heirs. Their heirs are able to change the sort of base taxation basis. So whatever those assets gain during the life of the person never gets taxed. So she is a lobbyist to protect rich people. That is her job. That's what she's paid to do.
It's public record, too.
Yeah, this is not like a secret. This is in the public record. And she's been very influential. That provision is now gone. They're not going to tax these vast fortunes. They're not even trying really to go after that and to do that. So she's won in a sense. So she was brought on to CNN along with Faz Shakira, who we just mentioned a moment ago, who is Bernie's former campaign manager. And Faz actually calls her out for being paid to make this entire process worse and to protect rich people. Just watch how the CNN host rushes in to protect Heidi Heitkamp from any besmirching of her pristine record. Let's take a listen.
And this is the problem, right? You are having a backroom, closed deal conversation that isn't transparent, that isn't public. So I'm all for, hey, senators have different positions. Great, let's have it out. But what I'm concerned about is the influence of corporate lobbyists. I'm concerned about the influence of Senator Heitkamp and her group, right? If the problem here is that we're talking about popular policies that people want, and they are good with taxation of the wealthy to make them pay their fair share. And we are talking about issues that if you go to West Virginia, you go to Montana, you go to North Dakota, you talk about these issues, people are on our side. So we're not fighting over, oh, hey, we're asking you to take a tough vote. We're asking you to deliver for the American public on the pledges that you made. And it is the influence of corporate lobbyists that are cutting this proposal down, that are cutting the president down.
Well, and let's make clear. Let's make clear, no one is questioning the Senator Heitkamp's transparency here. I mean, we are just being transparent going forward. So her intent is not what's on the line here.
I'm questioning the substance of what she is arguing about. I have no problem. Well, I'm taking in good faith that she believes in what she is saying, and obviously she's being funded to say it. However, the results of what she's trying to do is advocate for cutting down on corporate taxation. We have a problem of dynastic wealth in this country.
We've got to wrap this up, but I will say that let's not forget that the senator
absolutely not.
And let's not forget this.
When you bring in corporate taxation, this isn't about corporate taxation. This is about individuals being taxed based on the transition or the transaction that their assets would go through. And I want to mention
billionaires, Senator Heitkamp, billionaires. That's what we're talking about.
I don't want to get inside baseball, guys, here, because we are running out of time and we have to move on to the next topic. Obviously, things are coming down to the wire in Washington right now. I can just say that let's also remind our viewers that Senator Heitkamp lost her seat in the Senate for voting her conscience too. So I don't want to forget history as well.
So,
just to set the record, she voted her conscience.
She voted her conscience and she lost her job for it.
What?
Little side note here, that anchor is married to the Democratic establishment, Peter Orszag, who was the budget director under Obama and is now like a big finance Wall Street dude.
I mean,
so pretty interesting to watch. But I mean, there's a lot of layers here because, first of all, the idea that you can even have Heidi Heitkamp on and not make the entire subject of the conversation about her nefarious influence on this bill.
They should disclose that she is effectively lobbying for the uber wealthy.
Yes.
I mean, that is, again, a matter of public record. She is on their payroll. And I love how she tries to disguise that taxes, because we actually have a tear sheet of this. Let's put this up there on the screen from New York Magazine. Heidi Heitkamp is working specifically on behalf of the wealthiest families in America in order to protect something, what you were talking about, the stepped-up basis. And what that is it allows capital gains to escape any tax at all, as long as owners pass an asset on to their heirs before they sell it. Now, look, I know it's kind of complicated in terms of capital gains and all of that, and maybe you're philosophically opposed, but put it in perspective. the way that Heidi Heitkamp has told this story before on TV, she says, the truck driver, let's say a truck driver, Sam, who makes $100,000 a year, all of a sudden now he has a tax that he owes on inheriting property, talking about how a family-owned cabin would be passed on. Oh yeah, except in the law, it says that there's an exemption up to $1 million and allows heirs
to $5 million.
Exactly.
So his family-owned cabin would have to be worth like $10 million, in which case I think Sam's going to be okay.
Yeah, right. So if Sam has a $10 million cabin and then has to pay a 15% capital gains tax on that, yeah, well, you know, I think Sam's doing all right. Yeah. That's probably his 9th cabin in Maine.
Look, good on you. Good on you,
for your
Sam,
family.
the truck driver.
Congratulations,
you won the lottery.
Sam, and your family. God bless, it's America. But really what it is that it shows the nakedness through which her lobbying efforts are both co-opting like regular working class language, and B, that she is allowed on their network in order to propagandize against it.
And then the discomfort, and this is something we talked to Sirota about last week too. Like, if you aren't telling the story of how money is driving and shaping this thing, you are missing the entire thing. And when Faz, in a really, honestly, pretty gentle way,
that was pretty, I would have just been like, you're on the payroll.
Yeah, tries to go there. Oh, she gets so uncomfortable and flustered. I gotta jump in, I gotta set the record straight, I gotta make sure that Heidi Heitkamp's reputation isn't besmirched. Pretty incredible how even the mention of the interests that are spending lots of money to shape this thing and make sure that rich people don't pay any more in taxes. This is going to relate, by the way, the Pandora Papers segment we're going to do. How we can't talk about that at all. To do so, it's uncomfortable, it's icky, it's mean, it's nasty, all of that. But it's fine to actually do that. It's fine to carry water for them. It's fine to strip this bill down so that people don't get ultimately what they need. That's all fine to do. No problem there. That's not icky or uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to say anything about the fact that there is money behind the scenes driving all of this, and these networks happy to bring those paid lobbyists who have an agenda, who, as Faz points out, is being paid to say these things, happy to bring them on and pretend like they're somehow neutral arbiters, that they're just speaking for moderates in America, when the truth could not be further from what they are presenting as, you know, as what's popular here.
Right, and one of the best things is that the prospect has actually pointed out that Heidi Heitkamp, when she was a senator, actually advanced this exact type of tax that she's now lobbying against. And now she is the person who heads a 501c4 nonprofit called Save America's Family Enterprises, which is a dark money operation which does not have to disclose its donors, which has now committed over a 6-figure ad buy in order to oppose the exact inheritance capital gains step-up basis tax that we are talking about here. So what's going on? She was for it when she was in the Senate, then she left, now she's getting paid money, now she's part of the Save America Family Enterprises organization, and now she's against it and leveraging her power as a former United States Senator in order to go out there in the media and lobby. Then when Faz actually calls her out on the network, something that CNN itself should be doing as a journalist, CNN protects the lobbyist. The lobbyist, the former senator. They're supposed to be doing stories like this, saying, Senator, why are you advocating for a policy or against a policy which you pushed while you were in the United States Senate? Does it have anything to do with your connection to this organization and the money that you're making from it? Oh, crazy question. Imagine if she was asked that. Instead, this woman, let's not forget, who are you, her press secretary?
Right.
Yeah, no, apparently,
She took a vote of conscience and she lost her seat for it. And here's the other thing, it's like, I don't actually really care what Heidi Heitkamp's intentions are. Maybe she really genuinely ideologically believes that Sam the truck driver, when he inherits a $10 million cabin, like maybe she genuinely has an ideological commitment to protecting rich people and making sure that they don't pay a penny more in taxes. I don't care. What I care about is that money is funding her to shape this bill in a way that makes it worse for absolutely everyone. And I also care a lot that CNN, your point is so well taken that it shouldn't fall to Faz to have to gently suggest
He's a guest,
that maybe because you're being paid to say these things, that's relevant to this conversation. Like, good on him for doing it. It led to a very revealing exchange. It should be the job of these CNN quote-unquote journalists to expose the money that is funding and shaping these things behind the scenes, but that is left out of the conversation entirely. You can't even bring it up. It's icky, it's yucky, it breaches decorum, and that's ultimately like they have this obsession with decorum and bipartisanship in a way that only ever protects the status quo, only ever protects the elite class, which you can see this anchor herself is clearly a part of.
No, that is literally correct.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching.
That's right. Just as a reminder, you can become a premium subscriber today. Watch the full show completely uncut, our reactions to each other's monologues. You get to listen to it. You get to ask us questions, all that good stuff. Link is right there in the description or at breakingpoints.com.
Best of all, great way to say screw you to the mainstream media.